Hey there, hi there, ho there, my Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign. Welcome to your What Do I Need reading for this new moon in Sagittarius to full moon next in Gemini, moving from November. Well, it starts the 26th, the new moon goes until Thursday, 12/12. So 11/26 to 12/12, right? December, November into December, waxing moon. New to full. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, I am your reader for the moment. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Drawing the Circle Productions president, professional witch, professional intuitive, and really pleased and happy to be doing these readings for you today. I am a Virgo Sun. So I have given up trying to pull myself out of the readings. I can't do it anymore because I'm a Pisces moon. I'm too intuitive for my own good in that way. So it's like, yeah, that's me. So I'm just rolling with it anymore. What do you care? What do I care, right? We're all in it together. We're all one. Quantum reality, fifth dimensional unity consciousness, call it what you want. So, what is a what do I need read? Rather than asking, where am I on the path? Or where's my true love? Or what does he think about me? Or what is she going to do? And, which is fine. Other readers do that on the daily. Plenty of info. That's not really my bag so much. I'm a mystic. I'm more and more comfortable in living in the realms of divine mystery, living the divine plan, whether I know what it is or not, from moment to moment. But we are sort of allowed to ask, well, what do I need? What do I need? Go right to the divine. Takes a certain level of humility, particularly for Virgos who think that they know exactly what they need, and I am in that camp. Hell, I set the boundaries of that camp, right? I've cleaned the toilets of that camp. But really to kind of say, all right, then grant me the grace of humility to know that I don't know everything. My gods, my angels, my guides, what do I need, right? So that's what these readings are for, to give you a little indication of, what it is that you need for this new moon to full moon next. Like if you're doing new moon work or manifestation work for the waxing moon, just something to take into consideration. Please remember, these are general reads. So if it doesn't resonate, if you're not feeling it in your body as a, even if you get like a, I fucking hate that, that's usually an intuitive hit of some kind called repulsion. Have a look. Go a little bit deeper. Might just be something you don't want to look at. But then, don't do mental gymnastics to make things fit either. Just check your other signs. I always do sun, moon, rising, minimum, particularly with what do I need reads. Any zodiacal read, then I'll add in Venus or Mercury or Uranus if necessary, because sometimes Uranus is necessary. Talk about letting go, although that's waning moon. So let's dive in. All the cards and decks that I read are in the description box below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm shooting for 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat with super drunk live tarot, whatever we'll call it. Yeah, drunk tarot once a month as just sort of like a fun little thing for my subscribers and anybody else who wants to watch. Cool. Let's dive in. Still clearing out a little bit of a head cold. Also quit smoking, so we've got a double detox going on here. Not affecting the clarity of my readings, just makes me cough a little. So please remember to breathe as we do this. we don't have a choice. We have to keep breathing, but I have to keep breathing deliberately to allow this guidance and this grace to move through me so I can give the clearest, best readings that I can give. So here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card, a Caroline Mace archetype card, to indicate the dominant archetype, the soul power to be alchemized from lead to gold within and for or around this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon in Sagittarius waxing moon phase to full moon in Gemini. Ooh, the poet. I like the poet. I'm not a poet myself. I'm a wordsmith, but it does not mean that poetry cannot flow through me. It does. Every archetype is shadow and light, so this is totally about communication. It is the creative family of archetypes, so it's totally about how you use your words, perhaps, expressing yourself, perhaps, whether in a literal verbal sense or poetry in motion or the poetry of life. The shadow attribute, the lead to be alchemized into gold, turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. I'm well aware of that. I have a razor, laser, sharp tongue. Virgos are known for being critical. I'm like critical mass. I never have to lie because what I can do with the truth alone, right? And it is sort of poetic to take the truth and use it to reduce someone to pieces. I'll stick with sword imagery there. Laser, razor, choo, 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 cut them, rip her to shreds. He's so dull. Rip him to shreds. All my Blondie fans out there. But so using a lyric gift, right? Lyric poetry. Like There Once Was a Man from Nantucket. Obviously more of a shadow side of a poem. But use it to injurious harm of yourself or another. The light attribute expresses soul insight in symbolic language. Tarot and divination is exactly that, about expressing soul insight through symbolic language. Now, the thing about the shadow is you usually do that when you're feeling good. You usually don't express your soul's insight. It's more the ego takes over, and you use your verbal skills, your lyrical gifts to harm and to destroy, right? Now, we all get there, but when you're in that critical place, it's like this is a waxing moon. That's not necessarily what you want to sow and then reap later on necessarily, but to at least then express your shadow in a way that is healing, that is relieving, that is in a way of loving yourself without harm to others, like writing dark poetry and loving yourself through it and letting the child of the heart be heard without it running the show and keeping it off social media, unless you're putting together, you know, a collection of dark soul bleeding, dark night of the soul poetry, which is very, very helpful, I'm sure, to people who are in it, to feel like there are others there, right? So even that, you can turn a negative to a positive. Let's ask the angels, shall we? With the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels Oracle. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What do they need, considering we got the poet archetype here? What do they need from this new moon in Sagittarius to full moon in Gemini? One card, please. What do we've got here? Oh, Archangel Michael. The Archangel with the Sword of Truth. Yeah, it feels like you might have to speak your truth here, but that it really be your soul truth. Now, look, there's a difference between what's true and truth. What's true is, my name is Mark Angelo Lyons. The truth is I am a soul that was chosen to play the role of Mark Angelo Lyons, and what's true is I'm doing readings in my dining room in Holbrook, Long Island. The truth is that this is a holographic game that we play over and over and over again so that we make wiser choices each time. And really, there is no judgment and there is no damnation because it's all a fucking game. Do you see how with that lyric gift being abused, you could really do a lot of harm to yourself and others rather than to express that in a more loving, symbolic, soul-oriented way rather than the ego using it to take out its frustrations and its pains on other people. Because that's all that happens when we abuse people or people abuse us. We just do to others what was done to us, or they do to us what was done to them. The opposite of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. A beautiful piece of lyrical truth that gets forgotten the moment our shadow is possessed. So, you know, we're possessed by our shadows. Remember, Archangel Michael is the dispeller of demons because he's the angel of truth. Yeah. Let's see what the goddesses have to say about your internal world, your yin, your own divine feminine. Oh, my goddesses, please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What's going on in the divine feminine here with this collective Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising sign? What's going on with the poet, with Archangel Michael? What's going on the soul level? Well, the moon. So deep dive into the emotions, very much feeling the waxing half of the cycle of the cycle of the moon, the wheel of the moon, as it were. Something building, something coming clearer, but still a bit mysterious, more in the intuitive than the intellectual, obviously. But with Archangel Michael, perhaps really feeling a deep resonant truth, a cutting away of that which is false, and having some trouble putting that into language, right? So shoot for poetry, shoot for creative writing, shoot for writing something or saying something that no one else but you will ever hear. Takes the pressure off with that. Journaling in particular is good for that, but it's almost like finding your own intuitive truth here and finding a way to express it that heals rather than harms. You feel like when you finally have a realization, let's say in a relationship, where you realize it's like, this is so fucking toxic. It's out of balance. I've given way more than I have received. It's very easy to just want to verbally kick someone in the nuts and walk away. From the soul might be, just thank you for this opportunity. For you're abusive, and I didn't know you are, and now I do, and now I get the opportunity to walk away and take some soul power back for myself. It happens. We're still in the waning part of the moon, right? We're just out of that Mercury retrograde. What, about a week now, maybe? Well, if today is the 25th, yeah, it's 5 days. It went direct, so we're still in the shadow of all of that. And still in Samhain until at least Yule, right? So let's see what the gods have to say about what's going on in your divine masculine, or what's going on in the intellect in the outside world, right? My gods, please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign. What does this Virgo collective need in their outer world, their masculine energy, their divine masculine yang context, please? This one card, please. Well, the Queen of Cups. Interestingly enough, the Queen of Cups, pardon me, I've made a bit of a card mess here. They all sort of splayed out. The Queen of Cups is the Scorpio card. Now, what do we know about Scorpios? Water sign for sure, but hidden, a bit covert. You never really know what a Scorpio is feeling, though they can be feeling empathically what everyone else is feeling around them. So considering we've got the moon and the feminine, and the Scorpio card, Queen of Cups, Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world, who started the Trojan War. Scorpio, money, sex, and power, hidden elements, other people's resources, to perhaps kind of keep a lid on it, not to repress, obviously, like we said, to maybe do some writing, do some journaling, go talk to a therapist, go talk to a good friend in confidentiality, to express some of this new raw emotional truth rising up inside of you, so that, you don't do harm with it verbally. Look, I have a really hard time doing that. I am Mars conjunct Leo rising. There are some people I would love to fucking tell exactly, like I always say, I don't need to lie and deceive. What I can do with the truth alone. That's a witch for you, right? It's like, I don't need to pull tricks. I can tell you exactly what you did, right? And I can tell you exactly why I don't want you in my life anymore. Sometimes that can be helpful, and this is kind of saying be careful with that, right? It's the Scorpio card that you may sting, but then again, you know your own situation. Sometimes it's the only way people learn. But are you doing it from a place of the soul and the spirit, or are you doing it from a place of your own suffering, pain, and the ego to get even or to do damage? That's rough. And that's not a mental thing alone, right? You got to go to the soul on that one. So perhaps write it out first. Get it out of your system before talking to it, before having any confrontations of that nature. Let's ask the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, the voice of the Masters. Half of the deck, I removed the problem cards for this run because I'm like, we've had enough of the shadow. We're dealing with a waxing moon here. So the remaining 3 suits of the deck, the luck, the healing, and the grace suit, are all that remain. The womp womp cards are back there on the shelf. I thought for Thanksgiving it would be a nice little treat. Let's see. My masters, please. One card in clarity for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need for this Sagittarius new moon to Gemini full moon next? We've got the poet, we've got Archangel Michael, we've got the moon, and we've got the Scorpio card of the Queen of Cups. What say you? What do they need to balance this all out? A commitment. Now, a couple of things I'm getting on this. Number one, if this is about a commitment gone wrong, let him fucking have it. I don't tell people what to do, but let them fucking have it, right? Be as scorpionic as you want. But this also, that's like a small chunk of the collective here. Really what this is about making a commitment to yourself, right? What is the commitment that you need to make for yourself? Because obviously with this Archangel Michael thing, there's something being cut out, a person, place, thing. Like I let go of a crap ton of narcissists, covert narcissists. The overt narcissists don't get close to me at all. It's the coverts. Those are the ones. Do the research. They're sneaky as fuck. You often don't find out until it's too late. They're already embedded like ticks, right? They're not evil. They're wounded. Gotta keep that in mind. They're not evil, they're wounded. But if you are dealing with that and cutting people out of your life, cutting cigarettes out of your life, cutting any sort of thing that you know you have outgrown because you have grown, right? Outgrowing something means you have grown. That to really make that commitment. But if this is about committing to something else, something external, really make sure that you have expressed yourself, that you let your soul have its voice on this, while maybe being a little covert yourself, but there's nothing wrong with protecting your true feelings until you're ready to fully express them. Are we ever 100% sure about what we're feeling, considering how much change is going on in the world nowadays? Well, if our emotions are not wholly, W-H-O-L-L-Y, based on the comings and goings of the outside world, then you're really looking at what are your heart's desires, what are your life dreams, your life goals, things that were written on your heart, not by you, but by the divine itself, right? So that's a different level of commitment. Something that you are making a commitment to, not necessarily another person, though that may be a part of this, but if it is that, then it's really about truth of your soul. It's really about speaking your truth and wanting to commit long haul to something, because Scorpios don't mess around like that. That's fixed water. That's really saying till death do us part, with the money, with the sex, with the power, the whole 9 yards. If it is that kind of commitment, don't bother unless you really mean it. It's just what's fair. It's also what's healthy. He said while detoxing tar and nicotine from his lungs. Let's get one more card down with the Whispers of Love Oracle. The voices of the higher selves of all involved, and since I am a Virgo, my higher self too. Love that part. Breathe. Oh, my. Higher self and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising sign for this new moon in Sagittarius to full moon next in Gemini. What do these Virgos need? What do they need? Considering we've got the artist, right? Sorry, the poet, which is an aspect of the artist. We've got Archangel Michael. We've got the moon, so intuitive. We've got the Scorpio card, really matches that yang for yin. And we've got commitment. Please, one whisper of love for this Virgo collective, myself included. You know when I make that face what card it is, right? It's the true love card. Not to you. True love. This love is a once-in-a-lifetime love. Well, this makes a little bit more sense in the reading in terms of the commitment and keeping it under your hat and really getting sure that your soul is in alignment, that you're really going deep to find your truth, and that there's a poetic expression. The course of true love never did run smooth. Midsummer Night's Dream. William Shakespeare, good old Billy, he had a way with words, didn't he? It's kind of hot in his time. So my Virgos, we've got the card of the poet, that nothing like true love to fucking bring poetry out in me. Really? Do I have to deal with this shit again? But now you've got the sword of truth. It's like, well, let's see how true this true love is. Archangel Michael, your sword, please. Cut me free from all deception, delusion, covert, anything, so that I can really feel this one out. You know, we always know when people are lying to us, but we don't always want to know, right? So we cover up the intuition with thoughts, with other feelings, with addictions, right? Push it down, repress for success, never works. And that's why even with that card of the moon and the yin, with the yang here, with the divine masculine, we got the Scorpio card here. So maybe do withhold a little bit. Maybe do wait. Maybe be patient. Wait to strike. Wait to speak. Wait to let your poetry loose. Let it generate inside of you, right? That there is going to be an exchange of money, sex, power, or other people's resources in some form of commitment. But the question, to me at least, is this true love? Or is this false love disguised as true love, which is what I have been dealing with really on and off for the past 20 years. A little tired of it, but nothing like a waxing moon to bring back hope alive, particularly one starting in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, right, the expander, the expansive planet, into a Gemini full moon, which is one of heartfelt communication. So this could be a very interesting one for us Virgos. Let's see how that plays out, but by all means, do check your other signs. That there should be some other pieces of the puzzle here of either what's going on in this situation for you or what you can do to prepare for it. Either way, may the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising signs be blessed with all that they need for this waxing half cycle from new moon in Sagittarius to full moon in Gemini. May we all be blessed with all that we need to learn, to heal, to grow, to know true love when it crosses our path, and that we may fulfill our role in the divine plan for the well-being of all. And so it is. I wish you the very best, my Virgos, even if you're that covert narcissist Virgo fucking lied to me. Because I know you still watch my shit. Stuff I'm cool. But clean up your act and come back. Maybe we'll talk. But for now, sorry to go personal, everybody else in YouTube land. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed be.